Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Battle Scars, the podcast where I talk about where I got hit and how. No, not really. That's a bad joke. But let's go on with the next day of the MMA vlog. Today, what we did was same warm-up as always, but then we went into, practicing a few different just simple positionings for getting into different holds. But then we did sparring, and not the randori practice that was described before, but regular old sparring. But it was still, it wasn't like going all out trying to hurt each other. It was still a sort of light contact sparring, but definitely a lot more in terms of kicks, in terms of using everything you know, and a little bit more grappling and takedown was also involved in the mix. It could go to the ground if it ended up there, but I did my best not to let it go there because that's my worst spot. And a few interesting things happened during that little session. It started out all right, but I got hit. I got hit some good times. It started with a couple light punches to the face, but then I was paired up with a big guy that I mentioned before in the previous vlog, and he wasn't going super hard, but he was still a big, strong guy, and I wasn't protecting myself as intelligently as I should. Something the instructor pointed out is when I have my guard up and I'm coming in to weave my way into getting a punch, something that I'm doing with my guard is I'm posting up my hands trying to set up the punch, and I really need to not do that. I need to keep them here, and instead of posting up, I need to come in and twist for the hit, not set it up and then sort of use the weight to fall into it. I need to start from here, twist and fall into the hit, because whenever I'm posting up, I'm opening up the guard, even if it's just a little bit. You can tell from just the light, it's enough to really expose all of the parts. So the good hits that happened on me were first a back hook kick, which caught the back of my head here, and you feel it, like when you get hit in the skull by something really heavy, you don't feel it where it hit you. You feel it as it flushes throughout the head. It's like direct foot to brain contact, and it knocked me down, and I could feel my breath trying to leave me. I could feel that I was that my body was trying to say, quit, stop, lay down, this is bad. And the sort of default that I went to was what I talked about in that previous vlog. I started breathing really hard, like deep, lots of deep paced breaths. They weren't super controlled, but it was sort of a no, stay awake, get back up sort of thing. I don't think it was like a full knock. It wasn't full knockout because he wasn't using his full power or anything. I definitely ran into his techniques because I was guarding incorrectly, guarding unintelligently. And then after that one, I came in. So that was because I tried to weave, right? I tried to weave down. I didn't get in close enough, and so I was still within his range for the hook kick, and it caught me on the back of the head. The next one was basically him throwing a jab, sort of a straight punch, and it caught me right here along the chin. It wasn't quite the button on the jaw or the button right here, but it was right here, and it did sort of feel like the same thing, only coming up, and like the moment it happened, I immediately retreated. I kind of turned around and I used the banister that's around the edge of the exercise mat to hold myself up. I started breathing in the same way again, and it, you know, part of the thing about this, and I don't fault the guy at all. The teacher did chastise him a little bit for, I guess, having a little bit more control, and at the same time I recognized my fault, which was not defending myself intelligently and opening myself up and moving myself into these hits. And what really made that one worse was not just his technique, but the fact that I posted up and I basically, like, I stepped my face into his jab. He threw the jab out and I basically blocked with my face, and that doesn't work. But you know, you need to learn how to take a punch, I guess. And I knew that coming in, and I'm glad that I had the wherewithal to sort of keep going and say, like, yeah, you got me. That feels bad. I don't feel okay to do this, but I'm going to keep doing it. And that's sort of the attitude I've taken to a lot of this situation. So I survived that round with him, and I went on to one of the other guys. And this guy, he's a lacrosse player, and so he's a lacrosse goalie. So he has really strong shins, and I sort of, we were going a little bit more at each other's pace. I was actually able to get some good hits in to the body, to one good one straight on to his nose, and I could tell I got him because he did that whole thing, that like whoa thing that happens when you get hit in the nose. It's kind of fun. I know I've done that multiple times. I've seen other people do it. It's kind of funny. And let's see. I'm going to see if I can show you. Can I? No, I need to move the camera. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see. Let's see if I can. So I have this bruise right here. I'm going to bring it down. I don't know if you can see from that angle. There it is. Alright, so this little bump, it's not working really well. There it is. Okay, so this bump right here was about 3 times this size about an hour ago, and let's just say that the other guy's bump was significantly smaller than mine, because his shins are conditioned and mine are not. But man, that hurt. And, you know, we kept going. There was no stopping for that one. That was just regular old pain. But then the real fun part was during that round, he went for a round kick with the front leg, with his left leg. So it was facing me from his jabbing side. And I caught it. And I didn't catch it the way I wanted to, because I wanted to catch it using my side and like holding him here, but I caught him from the outside, so I had my body turned, his body was over here and his legs were in my arm, and so I took a step to sort of like twist and have him fall over, and he resisted, he bounced, okay, he bounced a bit, and he was trying to grab my neck. All right, so he wanted to take me down with him. When the fall happened, he wanted to have a grip on the back of my head so that when I put him down, his weight would bring me down. But he didn't grab in the right spot, and as his hand slipped, his fingers pulled in and bam, ripped my shirt wide open. Big ol' hole for a whole thing. It's pretty funny. It's pretty hilarious, I think. We had a good laugh about that and continued sparring, and I got a new shirt out of it. It's not this gray one with the cool Spartan helmet on here. I don't know if you call this Spartan or just like generic Greek. I don't know. I'm actually not all that good with antiquity history, even though I'm a philosophy guy. But it's just going to be a regular old white shirt, so it's not as cool. But I might keep this one just for the heck of it. Probably not. I'm moving. I have to throw excess stuff away. But yeah, and then we went into wrestling. Not BJJ, wrestling. Essentially working on from the knees, trying to get the takedown and then get into a pin position. And I did not once get anyone close to being able to pin them. But I also did not get pinned a single time. I forgot to mention the main reason I was so desperate not to get pinned was because the punishment for every pin you received was having to do a burpee at the end of class. And I hate burpees with a passion. I did not want to do any. That's a personal victory, because when we were doing the BJJ stuff, it was submissions left and right happening to me all over the place, and me having to tap out a lot. But this time, I was able to, and since they weren't going for a submission, I think that's a little bit better. I could tell when people were grabbing for it. Things started making sense. When I was in someone's ground guard, I would, post up the way I was taught, and then I started being able to actually see how they would grab my hand and start trying to pull it toward them as they tried to set up an arm bar from that position. And the arm bar that I know doesn't work from that position, so I need to learn that sometime. But I've saw it, and I was actually able to keep my hand out, come out, and avoid that. Start learning how to move these guys' legs more. So I'm learning, I'm growing, but it's still causing a lot of pain. But I wasn't moving in super slow motion, and it's the right elbow's turn to be hurting now. And I think that's because it was pretty much just how I'm babying different sides and what I'm using and what I'm not using. And the left arm was getting its workout, and it was really hanging in there. And now I'm using the right arm more, and the left arm is not feeling as bad because it's had its turn to get hurt and fix itself and get stronger. So, hey, what are you gonna do? I guess I've been through it before. What else? I don't know. Today was a really fun class. I think I'm gonna go back tonight because I'm feeling okay, and I'm gonna ice the little mini goose egg that I have on my shin here, and maybe think about actually using shin guards. I'd have to borrow them because I don't have any myself. At least I don't think I do. No, I didn't keep any, that's for sure. That's for true. But yeah, that's all. I'm gonna go back tonight. Yeah, committed. I know it's been a couple episodes since I've done that, but yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm feeling okay. And I'm gonna feel real bad after that, especially since I'm gonna go meet my friends for coffee right afterwards. But, I guess it's just, it's part of the deal. So I'll see you tonight. Definitely. Definitely. All right, evening class over, and I'm still doing A-OK. Main reasons: 1, no actual rolling. This evening class was very different from how the morning class went, because unbeknownst to me, it was a testing day for a lot of the people in the class. And so they were going over a lot of the things that had been taught in the first half of this month already, as well as a few of the things that were happening in the classes before I showed up. So it was kind of like a really fast drilling day for all of the specific ground techniques that they were showing, and getting pointers on how to set it up and get the holds in the right place, the structure, etc., etc., all that good fun stuff. And then instead of light sparring, it was straight to randori instead. And randori is the much lighter, much slower, just focusing on form and shape and making sure your structure matches your technique and all that as well. So it was really like the name of the class, all just drilling fundamentals, and the live resistance aspect of the training was a little more muted today than, or this evening than this morning. Sorry, I'm got the water burps, so I'm trying to stifle those because I just chugged a whole bunch of water. I forgot to mention this morning though, I was really dying, like, you know, not as much as, you know, before, because I was still like happy and like up and moving successfully, but I still had my my, you know, low energy shakes going on. And a friend in the class, his name's Jose, he ran to his car, and while I was still sitting here in my car after the class, he knocked on my window and gave me a protein energy bar, had some caffeine in it, sort of thing, and whew, man, did it taste good after a workout. So, you know, big thanks to him, watching out for, I hate saying your boy, so I'm not going to say it, watching out for me. The man on the internet you're watching. I should just say chaboy like everyone else. I shouldn't try to act a fool. Anyways, but it was good. It was fun. I'm feeling good. I'm not feeling like terrible, like I have to go home and fix myself before going off to coffee. And so that's good for me. But like I said, it was a lighter evening course. I didn't get away with doing no burpees today. At the end of the class, this instructor really loves having the having a class ended with, you know, good old push-ups, crunches, and burpees. And I did not get through all the burpees that we were supposed to. I only got to 6 in the time allotted when we were supposed to do 15. Maybe I need to practice that on my own time, huh? Probably. Just for regular old strength conditioning's sake. But that's the evening. I'm feeling good. I'm gonna go talk to my friends. I might have one of my friends expressed interest in this place after I showed them the injuries that I got from this morning, and I guess the real testament to whether or not my friends are interested in something is whether or not it caused me personal physical harm, which is just the perfect mark of friendship. Oh gosh. I love him though. Alright, so I'm off to have fun and have a good evening. 2 days of rest on the weekend, and I think I might actually be able to do things rather than sort of just surviving, subsisting. So we might have a more productive weekend for once. I mean, it's only been 2 weeks now. I'm acting like I've been doing this forever. I should stop that. Remain humble, just like I'm going to try to be. Have a good weekend, and stay true.